Good morning, my name is Raquel. Thank you for watching my podcast. Thank you to all new and returning viewers. And I'll link in the down bar where you can find me. And I have a group on Ravelry, which is Knitorama. And I have a blog. And like I said, I'll put all the links in the down bar where you can find me. And this is Rusty, who's decided to join me today. Soot is up on his gallery, and Dakota's on the pillow where she likes to be. So yeah, I have quite a bit. I need to do some sewing today. And I have quite a bit to show you. And yeah, sorry, I was looking outside because I saw some movement, and there's this cat on the balcony, on the building. On a balcony in the building across the road. Yeah, so let's start with what I'm wearing. Now I haven't blocked this yet because I wanted to show it, and it's gonna take a couple of days to block. What do you want, Rusty? What do you want? I'm podcasting. Okay. He wants some attention. He wants some. They've been outside, but he's in attention-seeking mode. Don't know why. Can I show it off now? Can I? Yeah? Okay, thank you. So, I'm wearing my finished flax sweater. Last week I had one sleeve done and I was finishing the second sleeve, so I'm going to send that. I can't move too much back because I've rearranged the dining room table, but I'll show you as best as I can, and if this will guide. I'm going to put him on the floor so I can show you, and then I'll pick him up again. Okay, so here's the finished sweater. Fits just fine, just perfect. Like I said, I haven't blocked this yet. I'm just wearing just a t-shirt underneath it, a sleeveless t-shirt. And even though I haven't washed it yet, it's not scratchy. I mean, it's not like super soft merino or anything, but I'm fine with it. It's not bothering me. So I'm gonna see if I Rusty again. Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know what I was gonna say. Okay, let's just get started, and this is finished object number 1, obviously. No. So I'm gonna have to pick them up again. No. There we go. I'm going to go pick up fluff. Okay, turn yourself to the camera like that. I'm going to be having to pet him while I'm talking to you guys today. Don't know why. Okay, so that's not the only finished object I had. After I finished the flax, this flax sweater, what I did was pick up the socks I picked up. I started on Halloween, and I don't even know, like the last time I showed you, I think I was halfway through the first, through the foot on the first sock, but I finished both of them. They took me like the rest of the day to finish. I think I finished this one on the Monday, and then I started and got like halfway through the foot again on the Monday evening, and then finished the sock on the Tuesday morning or something. So it took approximately a day to finish. So again, not blocked, but then again, I don't usually block my socks. My foot does the blocking for me. I just need to sew in the ends. I haven't woven in the ends. I did weave in the ends on this sweater. It took me the whole morning on Thursday. Thursday was a public holiday here in Portugal, but several shops downtown, not all the shops, but the majority of the shops in downtown Porto were open, and I needed to go take my camera to the shop, as it's not working for some reason. So I needed to go drop it off and see if they can find out what the problem is and let me know, so that I can figure out if it's worth fixing or if I should just get a new camera. Although new camera is quite expensive, so we'll see. So while I was there, I was like, well, Ovelha Negra was also going to be open, so I decided to spend the rest of the morning there, and that's where I sewed in or woven all the ends. Like I said, it took the whole morning. But then again, I was like at the shop and talking and all that, so maybe I could have done it quicker if I just been at home. And I don't know what Rusty's looking at now. Just what, Rusty? You're being rude. Turn to the camera. No? You angry? Huh? Turn to the camera, babe. No? Okay. So then on Wednesday. So Tuesday I finished the socks. Yeah, Tuesday I finished the socks. And then on Wednesday, 30th of November, I cast on and finished this little hat. This is the garter ear flap hat by Pearl Soho. It's free, download. Just go onto the website. If you go on Ravelry, it'll take you to their website and you can download the pattern instructions. And I did the second size, the toddler size, because I thought the baby size was going to be too small, and this way, you know, it'll serve for this winter and maybe next winter. Especially since the baby that I'm giving this to was born in September already, so I know he was quite small when he was born, but even so, it's better to be slightly bigger that he can wear it. And this thing will stretch quite a bit, so I think he can easily wear it this winter and next winter. Also, it's playing with things he shouldn't play. So this was finished on the Wednesday, and I used some yarn I had in stash, which I can show you. It's the BMG Affinitas Baby. This is like 70% acrylic and 30% polyamide, anti-allergic. So it's super soft, even though it's acrylic. It's really soft. It's great for babies, and this is usually the things I use to gift to people that I don't know. You know, let's say to non-knitters, knitter friends who have kids. I don't mind giving, you know, wool stuff too, because I know they'll take care of it. So other people get, you know, this kind of yarn, and it's really soft, like, and it wears well. The blanket, the chevron blanket I made earlier this year, was made out of this stuff. So yeah, then I wasn't only going to give this. Okay, he's finally laying down. I wasn't only going to give this little hat. I decided to, seeing as I like doing the flax sweater so much. This was the Flax Light. The original flax sweater was from the by Tin Can Knits. I think I forgot to mention it, but I talked about this one already last week, so I'm not going to talk too much about it anymore. Then the original flax sweater is done out of worsted weight yarn, and this is considered a sport, but I use size 4.5 or 5 millimeters. This was done in 5 millimeters with this, because I think the 3 millimeters it recommends. Let me just see. Rusty, you're not going to jump, are you? Yeah, it recommends 3 to 3.5 millimeters for this yarn, and I think it makes a fabric that's super tight, and I don't like it. Rusty, no. I have some teapots in this cabinet over there, a tiger and a leopard, and he's staring at them. He wants to attack them. Let me see if I can slowly turn around the computer. Sorry guys. This is Rusty trying to attack. Do you see? These two. That's what he's looking at. Do I need to get it out for you, Rusty? Yeah? Do I need to get them out for you so you can see? You need to see? Hey there. See? They won't harm you. do you want the bones? Want the bones? No? Okay, can I get back to this then? Okay, I'm gonna move it back. Sorry guys. Sorry about being all over the place. Anyway, I was saying the original flax sweater by Tin Can Knits is an worsted weight yarn, and even though this yarn that I'm using is a sport weight yarn, I use it with 4.5 or 5 millimeters. And for then again, maybe it's also because I have a pretty tight tension. My gauge is usually pretty tight. I normally have to go up quite a 1 or 2 needle sizes from what's recommended in the patterns. So I decided to make a baby flax sweater, and I did the 0 to 6 month size, and here it is. I did a little button on the bottom, cute little dog, and the person I'm giving this to, she has 2 dogs, so it's appropriate. So yeah, again, I use the same BMG baby yarn. This is the 603 light yellow. This is the 616 beige, which is the main color in the hat, and then I used the brown, which is 617 dark brown, for striping. And yeah, I knit this sweater completely as, you know, I did the sleeves, because if you remember, I mentioned that I did the sleeves completely different than what was written in the pattern, and here I just did the sleeves exactly as written. And I used a stretchy bind off on everything. I didn't go down at all for the ribbing on any of the ribbing. I used the 5 millimeter throughout, and as you can see, it's still pretty dense. It's not see-through. So it's a great. I mean, like I said, I've used this yarn before, so I know that using it with 5 millimeters is not a problem. It gives me the fabric I want. The chevron baby blanket I made earlier this year was even done on 5.5 millimeters. So that's all my finished objects for today. 4 finished objects. Okay, granted, these are small things, so quickly done. Hello, Dakota. You want to come say hello? You want to come say hello? Come on then. Come on then. Come on, up you go. Up, up, up. There you go. Say hello. Hmm? Say hello. Say hello. Bye. Huh? Come on down then. Come on. While Rusty and Soot love being on top of the table, this one is not something she usually likes or does, so that's why and she likes attention as well, but she doesn't want she doesn't like being on my lap, you know, for me to give her more attention. So let's go on to works in progress. I know I said I wasn't going to start anything new, because I wanted to work on my blanket, which is right here, and I wanted to finish the dragon, the African flower dragon by Heidi Beers. But at this time of year, there's always those Advent knit-alongs, either scarves or shawls or socks even. And every year I say I'm going to join one, and then I never, you know, I like download a couple of patterns, and then I never get around to doing it because I have a whole bunch of other stuff on my needles. But seeing as I finished November with absolutely nothing on the needles except for the blanket and the dragon, I figured, why not? I found a nice little scarf that I really liked, and let me just go over there to get the pattern so that I can give you the exact details. Sorry, I say pattern, but I don't actually have the pattern printed out. I just have my project notes. And yeah, let me take it out so it doesn't reflect on. What I do is I made a my intention is to each year make this, like for each project I have I make these project sheets, and I'll just go get another one, sorry. Okay, so what I do is whenever I start a project, I created a, basically I took the information that's up on Ravelry, which is like, you know, basically project title, start and end dates, pattern name, pattern origin, that kind of thing, and just everything that's on Ravelry. I just took that because you know I don't always have access to the internet, so this way, and I don't always switch on my computer when I get home in the evening, because I just spend the whole day at the office behind the computer, and sometimes I'm just tired and I don't want to be staring at another computer screen. So to have all the information at hand, I created these project pages, just paper project pages. And what I do is, what my intention is, at the end of each year, when everything is complete, I'll just like get them bound with ring binders, you know, like with those rings, and then I have per year I have like all those projects and I can find them back easily. I do have an Excel spreadsheet where I keep track of, and Sitch just jumped onto the computer, which he knows he's not allowed to, but he doesn't know. And he's gonna get it. I've got all my sewing stuff behind the computer on the table, and he's just gonna get into everything. Like I said, it's a plastic bag full of zippers I just went to buy, and obviously has to go. Anyway, so these project sheets. I can show you, nothing on there. Now he's drinking my tea. Okay, so I have the project title and the start and end dates. I'll move it back so you can see. Then here's the pattern info, the needles and the yarn I'm using, and then just here I start writing down notes on the pattern. So the pattern that I started, I started this on Thursday. Yeah, so what I did was on Thursday I had the sweater while I was in the morning before I left for Ovelha Negra in downtown. I started the sweater, and I had like up to maybe 10 rows into the sweater done, so the ribbing and the 10 rows. And then I took this with me to knit with at Ovelha, but I never got around to it because I was weaving in ends. So when I came home in the afternoon, after taking the dogs for a walk and I had lunch with Joanna in downtown. So took the dogs for a nice long walk. I came back and I finished the body of the sweater, and then I put it to the side because I want to change up the needles, because you know I was working. I like to have at least a project with smaller needles and then a project with larger needles, so that my hands don't cramp up too much. So I decided to start this project that I've been trying to talk about for a little while now, and I've been going off on tangents. So the pattern is the Mosaic Advent Scarf 2016. It's a free download at the moment until the 24th, which will be the last clue. You get daily clues of 30 rows per day. I've not downloaded today's clue yet. My idea is to try to keep up with it. It started on the 27th of November, and I only started on Thursday, so I had 5 days to catch up on, and I wasn't able to do those 5 days in the one sitting. I did do, actually wrote it down here, so I wrote down that I did the clues for the 27th and the 28th, and then the 29th I only did the first 6 rows, and then by that time it was like midnight or something, so I went to bed. So yeah, I've been keeping up with it. So on Friday I finished off the rest of the clues, and I was completely up to date. So yesterday I downloaded in the morning, sat and did that in the morning, and then moved onto the blanket, but I'll show you that in a second. So I'll show you the yarns I'm using first, and then I'll show you my progress so far. I've had this in my stash since last year, November, December, more or less. Hey, no. I got this yarn at Baldur's Blanche. They have this yarn. It's a sock yarn. And it's really nice. It's got nice long color changes, and they have several colors. These are just two of the colors I have. I have one more color, and I was actually contemplating which of the other, well, I'll show you. My main color is this one. So it's Kunstgarn by Hertjegarn, which is over here, and you can't really see it because of the glare. There. So this is the name of the brand. This is the name of the yarn, and this is 100 grams, 420 meters, 75 superwash wool, 25% nylon, and this is color number 1, and it's just the blacks and the grays. So this is my main color, and then I have two other colors, and I just ended up going with this one because I liked the other one. I wanted to use the other one for just a single scarf, just like a scarf or a shawl or a cowl or something, because I like the colorway. And I like this colorway too, but I thought this one would go better. And again, it's the same yarn, but this is number 20, and this is the rainbow colorway. And as you can see, there's pinks, purples, greens in there, yellows and blues. And like I said, I'm up to date as of yesterday. I need to download today's clue, and so do the 30 rows for today. And this is my progress so far. Remove those lines. I'm using 3.5 millimeters. I think the pattern is actually not very specific about it. I think you can use any yarn for this. You can use sport weight, Aran weight. It's a 15 repeat, 15 stitches repeat, and depending on what weight of yarn you're using, you either add more or less repeats. I'm doing what the pattern calls for, which is 3 repeats, and my plan is, because I don't wear scarves that much, so my plan is to, at the end, at the very end, when, you know, on the 24th, when the last clue comes out, finish the last clue, and then join it together and make a cowl, and then depending on how much yarn I have left, I'm planning on picking up stitches around the edges and just making a couple of rows, maybe. Like I said, depends on how much yarn I have left, because there's no real indication of amounts, as you can use any kind of yarn. So, but it's a really, you know, it's a very straightforward pattern. It's really simple to follow. I've seen people doing, I've seen several of the, I think there's like close to 250 projects for this pattern already, and some people are not doing it with the mosaic technique. I've seen one person, of the projects, I didn't see all 250 projects, obviously. Hey! One person is doing this in double knitting, so that makes a completely different effect. I've gone for the mosaic, I've gone for the original pattern, and I like it, makes a nice squishy fabric. So, it starts off, I'm pulling from the center of my yarn balls. So it starts off with yellow here. I lost the patterning just a bit, but I think after blocking it'll work out fine, because this is like a light gray. So this is my progress up to yesterday, so the 3rd of December. So I have to download today's clue and knit that one. So this is what I did started this on Thursday. So this is going to take me until the 24th. So I have this to show you every week. A bit of progress on this, if I can keep up. So I started this on the 1st, and on the 2nd I finished all the clues. So finished 29th, the 30th, the 1st and the 2nd, those clues. gonna put this away because Sid likes this yarn. He didn't bug me at all when I was knitting with the acrylic yarn for the baby stuff, but the moment I pick up, wool, he's at it again. So maybe I should just knit with acrylic. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'll knit with acrylic, but not everything. So yeah, then I picked up more blanket because that was my goal, to finish this blanket by the end of the year. And it's huge. I'm only working on the border. I'm not adding any more colored squares. So see if I can find now where I was working on. I'd already done 5. I had how much? 2, 4, 6. I already had 7. The first 7 blocks of the border done. So since picking this up on the 2nd, so Friday, yeah, I've done another 7 squares, and I have not woven in any of the ends yet. So this is going to take me a full day of weaving in ends. And here comes Rusty again. Come here. So this is what I'm going to be working on. I'm going to be working on this, the blanket, and on the mosaic scarf. That's all I'm working on for the next month in principle. I did get, someone asked me, ordered some socks for me to make, so I'm going to pick the yarn up on Monday, tomorrow, and make those quickly. And I don't know if I'm going to have them for next week, so I don't have a camera, so I can't even take photos. I have not been able to take photos of any of my finished objects this week, or of anything in progress either, which kind of sucks. So what I'll do is I'll finish the socks and I'll make a little film showing them off, and so I can insert that in next week's podcast, because I probably won't have them for next week anymore. So yeah, that's it for my for the border. In case you're wondering, I'm using the Fable by Drop Unicolor, and this is number 107, which is navy. And I got 20. I did the maths more or less, assuming that I used approximately 10, because this was at the very beginning when I started this blanket, and I was using a lot of different sock weight yarn, and some I used like more than 8 grams, other yarns I only used 5 grams, so to be on the safe side, I just took the 10 grams, which is like the minimum that we swap here in Portugal. I just assumed that I was going to use 10 grams per square, so I would get 5, in principle I'd get 5 squares out of 1 ball, and I did all the calculations of how much yarn I needed, and I ended up getting 20 balls of yarn. Turns out I'm going to have quite a bit left over, but that's okay. I already have another mitered square blanket in the plans, and I'll use this for the border. I'm basically getting 7 squares out of 1 ball, and seeing as this is going to be the border, and I'm now just doing the border, I don't care that as you can see, I had a whole bunch of leftovers from the other schemes, obviously. So what I did was, like, I picked those up first, and that's why you can see a whole bunch of ends over here that I've already more or less woven in. I usually weave them in as I go, so basically all of these just need to get stuck to the wrong side, and I can cut them off. The only ones I really need to weave in are all these ends from the other squares. Like I said, when I'm picking up, I already start weaving in the other, so yeah, it's only the very ends of the squares that I need to weave in. So in the beginning, the first 7 squares in this blanket here are all like leftovers from the other squares I'd already made. So from now I can do, so I use 7 grams per square in this yarn, That was like I said, that gives me out of seven out of one ball of 50 grams gives me seven 7 squares exactly. Now, out of those 20 balls of yarns, not a lot were actually 50 grams. All the ones I've used up to now, and what I did, I sat and weighed. I removed the tag and I weighed each and every individual skein, and I wrote down how many grams each skein weighed. This one only has 49 grams, so this one should give me exactly 7 squares with nothing left over. We'll see. I've already cast on the first 30 stitches because I'm now starting again. I'm doing double, just like here in the center. There's two lines, so this is the first one, and now I'm going to do the second one. That's what I'm starting on. And I put the stitch marker on here so that I knew which square I'd started on now, this time round. So I have a lot of knitting in front of me. And this is basically what I'm taking with me when I go anywhere. I have quite a thing. Tomorrow I'm going to spend the afternoon with friends. We're going to just sit and knit and chat. Tuesday I'm going to do the same thing, so that blanket's coming with me. Then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday I'm going to be going to my parents' place for a couple of days. And then Saturday the 10th I will be going up to the north of Portugal. Probably not going to be we'll see. I have to talk to my friend. I'll be spending Tuesday afternoon with her, so I'll talk to her, see if we're going to be taking the dogs or not. If not, I'm probably going to leave them at my parents' place on Friday, because they don't do well staying home the whole day all by themselves. And in case you're wondering, Dakota's fine. She had 3 teeth pulled, completely rotten. They were the vet actually kept them to show me that they were completely and utterly rotten. What she did basically, she cleaned off all the teeth, which she didn't have very dirty teeth. She had quite clean teeth, and then the 2 that were causing the swelling on her right cheek, basically they just fell out. And then there was one on the other side of the mouth that also just fell out. And apparently she had already chipped that tooth on the inside, so she only had half a tooth. But because it was covered in all that, like I don't know what you call it, the build-up of, I forgot the name in English, I don't know. I know the name in Dutch. Whatever. Okay, the stuff that accumulates on your teeth. Anyway, and that causes their bad breath, and in us as well, in humans as well. But so she had her teeth removed, but she has never. Well, Rusty has never been away from her since he came here. So. Okay, except for when he got castrated, but then Dakota was at my parents' place, so that wasn't an issue. So, since Monday, Soot has been staying in the living room, and I've cleared everything off, and here's the drawers. I did the little video in the end last week, and I put this one here for now. I've not put together those other 2 shelving, other 2 drawers that I made. This was the one I was going to use to cover up the TV, the box for the TV, but it didn't work. The box for the TV basically is the whole width of one of these squares, with like maybe 3 millimeters left over on the side, so this one didn't work. But now I've got yarn parchment bags in here, so that's gonna work. And then these 2 shelves were just like stuff left over. Actually, this folder here is my main folder of projects for 2015 and 2016, which I've not gotten around to completing, so I've not had them bound yet. This is the start of 2016. This is 2015, and then this is 2016. As you can see, it's quite full. So yeah. So I've left him in here. When I came home at lunchtime on Monday, I can't put it in there. When I came home at lunchtime on Monday, because Dakota was at the vet the whole day. So I opened the door. Rusty was pleased to see me, but Soot came out like looking at me like totally wide-eyed and ears back, and it's like, what happened? So it took him. It took a bit of getting used to for him. Tuesday was even worse because Dakota was in here too, and he came out. He was hiding. He didn't come out until the dogs were out of the living room at the front door waiting to go outside, and he only like peeked out and everything. But Wednesday I came home and was fine, and I've been home with them since Wednesday evening. So yeah, it just gets him. He's been on the other side of the door up until now, so he just now has to get used to being with them in here, and that's fine. And I put the cattery in here for Soot so he can has a place to disappear to if he wants to. Although on the downside of that is that he's now higher up, and yesterday he was standing on his cattery, like really standing up, because a bird was flying by, and he just like jumped and like he fell. Yeah, he attacks the window. He continues to attack the window. He's now finally chilled out, lying in his spot on the table. So yeah, that's it. I've got a whole bunch of plans for this week, and we'll see if I can do them all. And in principle, I should be able to. And let's see how much knitting I actually get done this week. I'm now gonna sew a couple of project bags, and maybe I'll do some filming of that as well, so I can add that in the end. Oh, I did film, which the quality isn't great because it's at night time and with the lights on, and the camera on the computer isn't the best quality, but it's okay for during the day, not so good for during the night. But the moment I pulled out this blanket, I had 2 customers. Rusty had been lying really comfortably on. If I move, I'm gonna just move so you can see how I usually sit on the couch, which is the bed, and I have this thing, which is basically to have breakfast on, but I put my computer on there. And Rusty was lying just here, and I sit on the side. And the moment the blanket came out, and I'm gonna move you guys back now. The moment if you hear noise, it's Dakota and Rusty playing. Play fighting, but that's the way they play, and Soot usually joins them, but he's like looking at them, not wanting to play today. So I was sitting there, and the blanket came out, and I had to move it around so that I could easily move it back and forth to do the rows. And Soot was already Soot had been lying on the pillow on the floor over here by the window. He came running and just got comfortable on my lap and stayed there the rest of the evening. And suddenly, Rusty was there as well. So I've done a little video. It's not the greatest, like I said. I'll insert that as well, so you can see. You can just about see Soot. Actually, he had his head like resting on that thing that I used to put my computer on. Rusty, you can see more or less like peeking in and everything. But he had to be covered. But he didn't stay very long because apparently it's not cold enough yet for him to be completely covered by the blanket. But and like it isn't cold enough yet. I mean, still, it's like the 4th of December, and I forgot to mention that today. It's Sunday, the 4th of December. 4th of December, and it's like 15, 16 degrees outside, and it's sunny today. Yesterday was overcast. It even started raining around 4 o'clock in the evening, in the afternoon. I say evening because by 4 o'clock it's pretty much dark here now, especially if it's overcast. But yeah, it's had a couple of days of rain, a couple of days of overcast. Now it's sunny again. I can't actually see any clouds in the sky at the moment. Yeah, and this one is gonna be, it's already quite long. I've been talking for 40 minutes now, so I'm gonna stop it here. Have a couple of videos to add to the end of it, so it's gonna get even longer. So sorry if you don't like the longer episodes. I usually do shorter episodes, but the next couple of weeks are gonna be pretty short. I do have 2 special episodes planned for the end of the year and one for the first of the year for the next year. So those might be slightly longer as well. You don't have to watch it all at the same time. You know, you can pause it, go and do something else, and come back, and that's not an issue. So yeah, have a nice week. I'm gonna enjoy my week. Have some peace and quiet at home, and hang out with friends, and not have to deal with a whole bunch of crap at the office. Actually, I wonder if when I get back to the office, they'll have put up the Christmas tree. They usually wait for me to do it. And last year, because I took the whole month of December off, or because it's like I was forced to take the whole month of December off last year because whereas in Holland, if you didn't use your vacation days at the end of the year, you could take them over to the next year. Here, due to workload and all that, we're not allowed to. So at the end of the year, you have to use up all your vacation days, or you lose them. So okay, I hadn't been able to take my vacations as planned during the year, so I ended up taking the whole of December off. All because of all the public holidays and everything. Okay, the reason I've been at home since the 30th of November is because the 1st of December and the 8th of December are public holidays, and they both fall on Thursday, so I was already going to take the Fridays off. And then I was like, well, why not just take the rest of the week off as well? And then I get basically 2 whole weeks, and I only use 6 days of vacation. So that's what I did, and that's why I've got now 2 weeks, basically 2 weeks of vacation, and I'll be going back on the 12th of December, back to the office, and then work for 2 weeks, and then I have a week from Christmas to New Year's off as well, because I always take that week off. And like I said, I was going to end this here and wish you a nice weekend, have a nice week, and I'll talk to you guys next week with definitely some progress on both the blanket and the scarf, and hopefully a pair of socks to finish, to show off as well. But in principle, no new, I'm not going to cast on anything new. So yeah, see you guys next week. Bye. Hi there, sorry about the lighting. I just thought this was just too funny not to share. I brought out my blanket to try to finish it off, and so is right here, and Rusty came running to be covered in the blanket as well. As you can see, I've got the blanket all over him. He's nicely comfortable. He'll be laying down in a sec, and this is how I'll be spending my evening today. Laying on my blanket and keeping these 2 little guys warm. Dakota's in her chair, or not in her chair, on her pillow with a couple of blankets there as well, so she didn't want to join us here. Hello. So here's the finished object, here's the finished bag. And yeah, the inside. That was it. I hope that the person who ordered it will like it. She liked one similar that I made. I was going to keep this fabric for myself, but as she liked it and none of the other fabrics that I have were what she wanted, so who knows, I might be able to find some more Betty Boop fabric. The thing is that all these pieces were like fat quarters, and yeah, so this is finished bag now. It's not identical to the one I made previously, as the bottom was different, but this is what I had left over. So hopefully she'll like it. If not, we'll just have to see what other fabrics that I have that she likes. Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that was it. Hope you liked the sewing. Something went wrong with my machine in the beginning, so I had to stop filming. See what was wrong. It was just the thread from the bottom part wasn't feeding through properly. So yeah, I might make some more videos like this. Excuse the TV going on in the background. Make some more. If you guys like the video, just let me know, and I might make some more videos like this. I'm planning on making some lavender little lavender bag things. I can show you how I make them as well. They're super easy to make. So if you're interested, I'm by no means like a professional sewer or sewist or whatever. So this is the way I do things. If it's the wrong way, hey, it's the way I do it. So thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye.